We're going to be making fresh pasta dough. This machine here is a food processor. I'm going to be making the pasta dough in this today. You can make it by hand if you'd like. It's totally up to you. So first to start, I have 227 grams of all-purpose flour. And 25 grams of whole beaten egg. One egg yolk. And a good pinch of salt. I have here on the recipe a splash of olive oil, but I'm going to blend this up first to see the moisture content and the consistency. We may or may not need it. I'm just going to put the lid back on. Now I'm going to pulse this a couple times. If you guys want to come close and have a look. Until the dough forms together. So I'm just testing it to see if it clumps together and it's easy to bind. I might actually add a touch of oil. Actually, no, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna bring it over to my bench. I'm gonna dump it out onto my surface. At this point, you want to form your dough into a ball. You're working the flour to develop a little bit of gluten. If you develop the gluten too much, it will be too elasticy and your pasta will spring back. I use all-purpose flour instead of bread flour or cake flour because the protein content is around 8%. Bread flour usually has around 11 to 13% of protein, and cake and pastry flour has anywhere from 3 to 5. Depending on the brands, they're always different. So as you guys can see, the pasta dough is in a ball. I'm just gonna knead this for another 10 to 20 seconds or so till it gets into a smoother consistency. And then I'm just gonna wrap it up and put it in the fridge for around 30 minutes for it to rest. So it will absorb more moisture and the gluten strands will relax and it will be easier to roll out on our pasta machine. If you try to roll it out now, it'll just tear and break and it won't work out. Gonna need some saran wrap. See you guys in 30 minutes. The pasta dough has rested for 30 minutes. We're gonna take it out, flour the surface, and roll out the dough thin enough that we can put it through our pasta machine. I'm gonna get my rolling pin. Right, that looks pretty good. So this pasta roller has wide and narrow settings. The widest is number 1. What I'm gonna do is feed it through my hand crank pasta roller. Each time I'm setting, I'm gonna roll it twice. pasta roller at any kitchen retail stores. They range from around $30 to $120. You can buy the electric ones that fit in your attachment in your mixer. But I like to use this hand cranked one. So right now I'm rolling on setting number 4. I'm gonna roll it 2 times. The thickness of the dough, oopsies. The thickness of the dough really depends on your preference. The thicker the dough, the chewier noodle you're gonna get. The thinner the noodle, the more delicate noodle you're gonna get. So right now, I like to stop anywhere between 6 to 7, because if you roll it out too thin, it's just gonna tear and it won't be very nice. So right now, I'm gonna cut the dough in half. So the first noodle I'm gonna make is a hand-cut pappardelle. I'm gonna flour the surface on both sides so it doesn't stick when I cut it. And what you want to do is roll up your noodles into a cigar, and you're gonna cut around an inch thick wide noodle. And there you guys go. Pappardelle. Next application we're gonna do is fettuccine. So I'm gonna move my hand crank over to the fettuccine cutter. And same again, you're just going to feed the hand rolled pasta through the noodle cutter. And when it's finished, you're gonna get beautiful fettuccine noodles. I'm gonna flour this pasta. We're gonna do our last cut. We're gonna make some fresh spaghetti. And then you're just gonna feed the pasta through, hand crank. Oh, stuck a little bit, that's all right. All right, so we have pappardelle, we have fettuccine, and we have spaghetti. For you guys to cook these noodles, you would bring a pot of water to a boil, heavily salted, cook for 2 to 3 minutes until they float, drain them out, and toss them in your favorite sauce, tomato, pesto, butter, Alfredo, anything you want really, anything you like, it's up to you guys. I hope you guys liked my video. Thank you for watching.